Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Podfathers, the best parenting podcast in the universe. It's your pal Clem here. It's Large and Dirty Jersey. Chaps in the great state of Texas. We got Joey and Nick, I think both in HQ right now, behind the virtual wall of silence. New year, new us. Hit the fucking e-brake, because guess what, boys? We're back to Corona land. 2022, baby. COVID-19 in 2022. I got Sienna upstairs right now. Chaps, Cardi B home with you?
Cardi is home, yep.
Large, you fucking asshole. You have 3 kids that can take care of themselves. Are they all at school right now?
Every one of them.
I fucking hate your guts so
man.
much.
But you got what you deserved yesterday already. Your travel woes.
Yeah. We had the option. We maybe had the option to keep Bridget home, and we decided to not take the option. That's not true. So the kids went back to school yesterday, and my kids, they missed their first day back because we were traveling, like Chaps said. So we're not sure exactly how they're doing it, because Andy doesn't want them just in like a giant gym. It's the teachers that is the problem up here. There's so many teachers that are either sick or opting out that sometimes they're pooling kids into a gym with like HEPA filters and whatnot. So if that seems like if it's no bueno today, then we're going to keep her out. But otherwise, Annie and I, we had no dogs because we had the dog kenneled. The evil dog was kenneled. And the other dog's at my mother-in-law's, and we have no kids.
I think that is like nationwide, the teacher thing, because before the break, we got emails from our kids' school. We're like, hey, a couple of the teachers aren't going to be here. We might have to shuffle around some of the kids into different classes whenever they come back. Dude, I hadn't even really thought about it from the perspective of teachers. If you're a teacher, all the shit they've had to deal with in the last year and a half, and then still having parents bitching at them all the time and their salaries haven't changed. The fuck out of here. There's no shot I'm doing that. No way.
We're going to have like a nationwide shortage of teachers after this shit. They're going to be like, this shit is not worth. Remember, they were heroes. The teachers were the heroes. It was, the people.
The teachers, the nurses, and the doctors, everybody, like, they're doing the right thing. And now they have a vaccine. People are like, get these nurses and doctors the fuck out of here.
So, yeah, it's tough in the streets. I saw Kate got hit with the old surprise, which, once you have the kid, that first time you take them into daycare, you find out. Yeah, it's a rite of passage. And you find out that they're observing a holiday on a different day than the holiday occurred, which for her case was New Year's on Monday, January 3rd. I remember that happened to our boy KFC back in the day. I think it was Columbus Day where he got hit with that, and he just got fucking kicked in the dick.
By the way, they tell you beforehand. I mean, Kate is not that diligent. It's not like, it wasn't like,
She's not going through it with a magnifying glass.
I don't think they decided Sunday that they were taking Monday off. I think she missed one of those little things. And I'm not saying she's not overwhelmed, but head on a swivel if you're going to be doing this fucking game. You know what I mean?
I can't wait for Kate to find out the first teachers conference, like teachers planning day, where it's just in the middle of nowhere. Not even we have those things like every other Friday. It's like the teachers training day. Like, wasn't that college? Is that what
Chaps,
college was for you?
We blow it up every year. We print it out, even though Annie puts it all into our phones. You know what I mean? So it's on our thing. We still print it out and blow it up and have it on the fridge. Like when all the teachers, nothing's gonna surprise us. And plus, the kids want to be off, right? We don't, but the kids want to be off.
No, so I ain't paying attention to that. You guys are better than me. I just fucking flying by the seat of my pants. Sometimes I'll drive up to the school on a Saturday just hoping.
That's what Ebony. Remember Ebony? The old school Podfathers listener. She just dropped her kids off at school once during like a superintendent day, and she's like, "They're your fucking problem." They're like, Miss Ebony.
These are my kids from 8 to 3.
She left them. They were like, by the way, there's nobody here. But
these are the government's kids.
They were like, there's nobody here but 2 janitors and a librarian. She was like, fine. Like, I don't know what her priorities were going to be. Like, she didn't ask for any ID or background checks. She just left her fucking kids. Picked them
and
up
you can just plead ignorance. Like if it's the first time that you're dropping your kids off on a random day, like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't realize. So sorry. Yeah.
She picked them up at 4. You kids eat? Or someone's like, yeah, I split a sandwich with the janitor.
His name's Hank. He's real nice. Hates garbage juice. Empty out your milks before you throw them in there.
It's always the first day back from Christmas break. That was Kevin's worst day of the year, especially when you're younger because it's cold outside. There's nothing to look forward to. You're fat from fucking Christmas. If you're going on a diet, you then have to eat like healthy for at least a week to not feel like a total asshole. But then there's the other side where it's like the parents are like, no. My kids are out of the house. I finally get to like enjoy peace and quiet if you're working from home, especially. However, this is the double whammy now. It's guys like me and Chaps. Chaps, did you add it? You please tell me you added some weight in during this fucking break. You son of
some
a
weight. Yeah, dude.
I
I was just about to cut you off and say I completely disagree with you and Kevin that it's the worst day. I think it's what I needed. Like I'm sitting around getting fatter. Basically, this winter break has essentially been like a trip to Vegas that's too long. Like you have Vegas and it's great and it's fun, but if you're there for 4 days, you need to get the fuck out of Vegas. Like the moment that you're there for day number 3, you're like, oh, this is a little much. I'm feeling that way over break, like waking up at 9 o'clock, little bit like still weeded up. And I'm like, man, I need to get my life together. I'm a fucking mess.
I have children relying on me for life right now.
I ate in Nashville like they're closing down Nashville forever. Like this was going to be my last. Like Nashville's not your trip to Hawaii.
Planes canceled. Oh yeah, it's like another. Like well, planes canceled. Might as well order 8 more chicken sandwiches.
Yeah. Your trip to Hawaii, your trip to Alaska. It might be your only time. If
or Delaware.
Or you might go to you might go to the Orient at one time and know that it's a one-time deal. Know that you're never going to have a soup dumpling in Taiwan ever again. There's a good chance I'm going to be in Nashville. There's Nashville chicken everywhere and shit like that. I ate honestly.
Yeah, but when you got to go straight to the source, my friend. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You can get water from anywhere, but if you go to St. Augustine, you better go to Ponce de Leon's Eternal Spring and get you a sip.
But I'm telling you, I didn't take a sip. Chaps, just look at the pictures of when we left for when I came back. We were there for 4 days. I can't get the swelling down. It's like I was.
Fellas, look at my eyes, dude.
Yeah.
I feel terrible. Honestly, I feel awful. So, and like I have Donnie does call me, like having me talk him through this whole sober January thing. It's January 4th. And I'm talking to him about it today. He's like, what about the sleep, man? I'm not sleeping well. I'm like, 3G. Like, like I'm doing that type of stuff with them. So it's, I don't know.
Tony is identifying as a legit problem.
Yeah. And like, I've had holiday heart. Like I had an arrhythmia one time where I went in, I thought I was having a heart attack. And the guy's like, how much did you weigh in October? And I was like, oh, at 265. He's like, and so the fact you're 315 now, you don't think that has to? I'm like, yeah, no, that's it. 50 pounds in 2 months.
I gained a quarter of my weight. Yeah.
I could be. I think you hit it on the head there, Doc. So what are we going to do about it? Can I go to Mexico?
I think you're right.
By the way, how about those fucking steps?
Elevators down, Doc. Yeah.
We see Large with his bags and he's moving in with Doug's and Frank.
Oh,
just being part of the unit house.
Well, that's the thing about Christmas. The thing is there's Christmas, which is obviously like the biggest holiday and all that kind of stuff. But then you have New Year's. So it's kind of like you have a start and an end in your mind. And then you kind of then you have the extra few days between New Year's and then whenever the first day of work is. And that's what gets really dangerous. And happy 50th birthday to our guy right here, the big 5-0. Large, those doctor's appointments can't be coming anymore at the age of 50. We have to start worrying about that. We have to start working on that.
January 6th. So 2 days I go for my checkup with Dr. I won't give her a name. And man, she has her fucking hands full because I had so much stuff canceled and whatnot that I'm going to go. I wrote a blog last night and it's the title of the blog is Half 100. And when you are on a trading floor, if you say the word 15 or if you say the word 50, when you're in a trading situation where it's loud, 15 and 50 sound a lot alike, obviously. So I don't know if this is the same in the military. So it's 100% just automatic that I would say, Clem, you bought 15 CFB. Chaps, you sold 50 half 100 Duke Power. Clem, you bought 50 half 100. Chaps, you sold 15.15. 50 half 100 and 15.15 is so I'm now like somebody had asked me how old I was turning, and I said, oh, I'm not that anyone would confuse me for a teenager, like, so but I said,
not 15.
Yeah.
My learner's
Benjamin
permit.
Button looking
automatically right away. Like, this is 50. I was like, I'm 50, half 100. Oh, like when I said that I'm 50, half 100, it just, so I wrote a blog, half 100. And I would tell you right now, guys, maybe we'll talk about it more next week or something. 10 years old, became like a double-digit midget. I didn't care. 13, teenagers, didn't matter. 21, doing the 21 shot. I got drunk every week at college, not just my 21st birthday. I don't know if 30 or 40 did it for you guys. When I turned 40, it was really no different than when I turned 38, 39, or 41. 50 is different. 50 is 100% different.
50 slaps different.
Yeah. I mean, I think you have the opportunity. We all have the opportunity to maybe live till we're 80, right? Mm-hmm. None of us have the opportunity to live till we're 100. Nobody on this chat, nobody listens to this thing. So I am firm, and I'm taking the under on 80, by the way, but you can get there. So when you get that 40 milestone, doesn't mean as much. 50, you are firmly on the back nine, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all, man. I mean, I have less daylight in front of me than I do shadows in back of me, and it's fucking profoundly
Large is going to be fucking painting and shit soon. Like,
it's profoundly disturbing, chaps. And on top of it all,
he's going to be in there with Annie doing some pottery like he's fucking Patrick Swayze in Ghost. Like, I just need to get through all the things I've wanted to accomplish in my life.
I'm burning sage. I'm telling you right now, it's 100% the first time in this whole life of mine that I felt different after a birthday. 100%. And you guys could say, oh no, 30 was big for me. I'm telling you right now, 50 blows. 50 fucking blows. So
I think that for me, the biggest birthday so far was 35, because in no estimation after you're 35 can anybody consider you like a young person anymore. Like, you're not like young. You should be a full-blown adult by that point. And so nothing that you do is based off of inexperience. It's just based on you being a dumbass at this point. Like, you can't plead ignorance.
Yeah. 25, you feel like you're finally out of the college crowd. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and then 40, there's something to it. Like, oh, I got to be married
me this
by
year.
40.
I hit my 40th this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So maybe you're like,
July.
oh, I need to be married by 40, or maybe have a kid. Like, like people put those types of stuff on themselves. 50, it's all about how close you are to death. Honestly, I think more so than 60, because you already have a certain degree of giving up by then. It's the
opposite feeling of a road trip, like on a road trip, when you reach the halfway mileage point, you're like, oh, it's all downhill from here. Like, you're basically doing that with your life.
Somebody gave me this. It's a poster, and it's 100 movies, a scratch off bucket list. 100 movies. So it's 100 movies that you need to see. There's no free ads or anything like that. So right on the front, it's The Dark Knight, Shawshank Redemption, City of God, Pulp Fiction, 12 Angry Men, Blade Runner, Clockwork Orange, Deer Hunter, Casablanca. That's the first thing. So there's 100 of them. And so I can already scratch off the majority of the first row. I'm assuming I can scratch off probably a third to 2/3 of this whole thing. But when you get this when you're 50, I gotta finish this before I die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, honestly, it's not like bucket lists mean, and that's what it is. It's called the scratch off bucket list. It means something different because that bucket is firmly in front of my foot right now, just ready to be kicked.
I was gonna say, once you turn 50, it's like when it's an elimination game for the Stanley Cup and they bring the cup into the arena. The bucket is now in the large house at 15 years old on December 25th, 2021. The bucket arrived now and it's just sitting there. And you don't know when it's gonna get kicked. That's the thing. When it's 0-0 at the end of the third period, the Stanley Cup might be given. Tomorrow, God forbid, tomorrow, the bucket's been kicked. Get the fuck. What are you doing on this call? Start
Clem.
watching those goddamn
What's
movies.
What's wrong with you, Clem? He's saying he's struggling being old, and Clem's out here saying he might die tomorrow. What a dick. I take back my tweet over the weekend where I said Clem was the nicest guy at Barstool. That was mean what you just did to Large.
And I second my tweet that Chaps has a breathtaking cock. Right? I said that over the weekend. By the way, another thing with 50, my balls every day.
Longer?
Just longer. Like I think I have like 36 longs now. Like,
Wow.
my inseam is actually shorter.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, I think when you're young, your balls are too tight, but
Yeah.
when you get older, I could see like a business pop up where you have like ball mittens,
Yeah.
like where you have like just a little sack that you put around them and warm the old fellas up. Because if you got
Chaps.
warm balls, you're good.
they're not disturbed, but just comparatively, like I've always been a close to the vest type thing when it comes to my balls. They've always been kind of tucked up, and now they're gorgeous. Like I mean, as far as or that much more. But to your point, every now and again they touch the water, and that's disturbing. So I don't need a ball warmer. Yeah,
that's some long balls, Lawrence. I'm not anywhere near the water.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Chaps.
I'm basically like Vince Carter. I'm playing above the rim.
Large, you're also famous for being a guy that likes to have like a good custom toilet, right? You had the urinals in the house. Is that something where you get a custom toilet where the water is lower, or do you get the water heated? So then you kind of just let those things sit like your tea, right?
Well, it's what else is in the water that bugs you.
Oh,
You know what I
that's
mean?
the problem.
So a lot of times, if you just sit down and you get that icy tinge just on it, they come right up, and then it's not a problem for the rest of it. It's not like they sink back down and then they'll rub up against the stool. Oh, but I can tell you another thing. We did the suites this weekend. I stayed in the fucking presidential suite at this the Westin Marriott. No, the Westin in Nashville. Another shout out. I had a toilet next to a bidet with a big screen TV. I got through taking an abomination. I just dropped some wolf bait. I'm sitting on the bidet and really taking my
fucking chum.
Really taking my time. And by the way that my balls are situated now, as this water comes through, it hits against it like a mighty rock and then goes straight down. So there's no shot of any water shooting out of it.
You got shitty balls.
I guess. Let's not get too granular. But I had the big screen TV in front of me, and it was the original what's it called? Total Recall. And it was the scene with the girl with the three tits. Oh, it was perfect. I was just sitting there with warm water going through my asshole and caressing my balls, watching this girl with three tits. I was like, this is
this
top
checks
10.
out. This is exactly where I thought I'd be at 50.
Vacation. And then we left and got some more biscuits and gravy.
Got to.
And a sweet tea.
Gotta
so anyway, that's it.
replenish.
50 sucks.
50 sucks.
Yeah. So no, it's not a happy birthday.
But you know what? All things considered, not so bad, because like you said, you were in Nashville. We saw all the pictures on Instagram. It looked like it was pretty good. In typical Large fashion, seems like everything was taken care of. The God smiled upon you. You didn't have to bring, free fucking movie cups or free paper cups to the movie theater. You were still taking care of fucking the box by the boys, the Bussin' with the Boys guys.
Oh, by the way, I get to Nissan Stadium. I go up to Will Call. I say, Taylor Lewan left tickets for Mike McCarthy. They're like, no, he didn't. I'm like, Will Compton left tickets? Nope. I was like, Barstool Sport? They're like, nope. I was like, are there still tickets available? They're like, yeah. So I go next window over. I said, I need 5 together. And the girl's like, where? I was like, she's like, I don't know if I can get you 5 together. So I wound up paying $2,000 for tickets at the fucking window. And then I went into the thing and I was like, oh, that sucks. You know what I mean? Like it just kind of sucks. And then I went in and Will Compton hit me. Hey, did everything work out? I was like, oh, no, Will, it didn't work out. I don't think Taylor got to it, but obviously they're looking to win the AFC South. You know what I mean? Right. He's like, no. He's like, I checked with him. He left him there. And I guess like the players, sometimes it doesn't get down or whatever. So Will's like, just give me 1 second. And I was like, so I went back to the fucking will call window and I was like, listen, I don't want to get too angry, but you guys fucked up. Told me I needed to buy tickets. Now I need my money back for these and I need my tickets from you. And they did. They took care of everything. And Taylor's guy came down, brought us to the luxury box. And every time I got any kind of perk, which I think I mentioned on the thing, everybody who I met was like, oh yeah, we've done this for Glenny Balls. Like Glenny Balls is the king of that shit.
He is, man. Glenny Balls he's a brand to himself.
Yeah, it's awesome. So but yeah, Nashville, great town. I've never been to Austin, Chaps. And
we need to have Podfathers trip to Austin.
It's a great town, right? Wonderful town. So I don't know what the problems are with Nashville yet. Maybe it's getting too big. Cab drivers were complaining a little bit. I really, really love that town. So I'm wondering now if I can do a side by side. Maybe my next trip will be to Austin. See how that is.
I wanted to see, obviously this is the family show here at Barstool Sports. Any good Christmas memories, any good Christmas moments from over the break with the gifts, the wrapping, holiday stuff like that? Chapsy, anything big go down? Did you do a chili? Did you do a Christmas chili?
We did.
A month after doing a fucking Popeye's turkey on Thanksgiving,
exactly
Chaps
right.
is making chili for Christmas. I can't
That's
believe I'm on
exactly
these
right.
fucking poor rankings.
I've come to the realization about a couple things, fellas. One, I'm out on things that I used to think were kind of fancy, like craft beers, super expensive whiskey. Like, get it out of my face. If I'm gonna have a couple beers, just give me a Bud Light. I don't need anything outrageous. Just give me a Miller Light. I don't need anything nuts. Like, I don't want any of that stuff anymore. All this extra effort and going to town, and it's nice every now and then. But if it's a cold night and you and your family really enjoy some fucking chili on a football Sunday or a football Saturday, my God, dude, just put some beans, some meat, some tomatoes into a pot and get yourself a chili going. And we have zero regrets about that. We had quite the culinary adventure over the holiday break. We had homemade biscuits, just an absolute panful that were delight. I would say wifey made them top 5 biscuits of my life. Wow. Easily. They were, listen to this, Large, 20 biscuits. We used 3.5 sticks of butter.
Cold butter cut into it. You cut in the cold butter and it makes all the difference, man.
Yep, and then we did a butter on the top, and now and we used buttermilk whenever we were cooking it, or when she was cooking it. Yeah. And now still, even 4 or 5 days later, they're still super moist and delicious. It's been fantastic. But probably the biggest thing that happened, wifey and McCartney went to Mississippi. I was here by myself. Nice. For like 4 days during the break. I had zero responsibilities at work. I just hung out with the dogs, fucked around in my yard, like not kind of picking up leaves, but just moving them a little bit and then burning a couple here and there. Like, I just set fires to a bunch of shit, hung out by the fire, and started watching The Wire. It was a great 4 days.
Yeah, you're in The Wire too. Yeah, that's, and by the way, grade A choice for being alone to start The Wire by yourself without anybody asking any questions in your fucking ear.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. That is chef's kiss for me.
But it's like a fine cigar, basically. That's like the content version of a fine cigar right there.
Most of my Christmas gifts that Annalise got me were I either had it already or it was the wrong size. It did not matter because they were gone for like 3 or 4 days, and she didn't give me anything to do on the honey-do list. I did a couple things that were already on it, but other than that, it was just a real stress-free time to decompress. It was lovely.
You essentially had the Kevin McAllister Christmas, and it was the best part of your life. You made your family disappear.
I did. One night I went, there's this steakhouse that's really good a couple miles from here, and I Uber Eats it. I Uber ate, I guess. I Uber ate, like, I ordered 2 steaks at one time, 2 16-ounce steaks, and each one of the steaks I got 2 sides of garlic mash to go with it. So I had 4 sides of garlic mash and 2 big steaks.
And the puppies were with you too, right? You had the pooches around, so you had some companionship.
And so the little fat edges around the steak gave it to Gus.
Well, let me ask you something, Chaps. And I've ordered from steakhouses before to go, and I've had them at home, and it's good, right? Well, what would be wrong next time if Uncle Chaps puts on a sports coat, puts on his best shirt, perhaps a pair of slacks, and you go to a steakhouse by yourself, and you sit down and you order a big old fucking bottle of wine, and you order a fucking 48-ounce tomahawk by yourself with some? Is that better or worse than sitting on the couch with a fire, with the dog next to you, with season 2 of The Wire on or whatever? I mean, I get it on both sides, but what do you think? Is that something?
Hold on to your big droopy balls, Large.
Please.
I'm about to blow your mind. When I go to New York, I do that every time I go up. Right. When I go up, there's one night at least that I go out to eat by myself, nobody else from work. I don't invite anybody else. And I just go sit at a restaurant look at my phone, eat a steak, and drink a couple glasses of wine, and just have a time where I can just sit and just be in my own brain instead of talking or eat that 4 more bites of macaroni and cheese, eat a fish stick before I kill myself, like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's good. Like and I did the movies. I snuck some elite snacks into the movies with like from leftover roast and stuff like that. So I'd seen The Matrix, which wasn't that great, but then I saw The King's Man, which I thought was fantastic. And I'm telling you, I really went overboard with the snacks and whatnot. The Matrix I saw by myself with a little bit of pasta salad and with a sandwich and all this kind of stuff. And again, like just being by yourself, not touching your phone for 2.5 hours, even in front of a garbage movie. I walked out of there just like I was 49. Like,
well, on that Thursday that I was here by myself, there's a golf course that had really cheap rounds on like the Thursday of that week. And it was like $25 or something around. And I called the place and I was like, I just got one person. I'm going by myself. And they were like, okay, well, we can put you on with another twosome at this time. And I said, well, is there any of them that are open for 3 players? And she was like, yeah, we have one at 11:15. I was like, can I reserve all of those and still go by myself? And she was
Perfect.
like, I don't know. Cause I thought normally at this spot, it's $110 a round. They just had an outrageous sale, I guess. And so I was like, I'll pay $75 not to have to talk to old ass fucking Harold. Like when I'm playing, I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to go out there, fuck around by myself, smoke a cigar, drink a couple glasses of whiskey, and just have a good time by myself. I don't need other fucking people there.
The only reason we have to move on is because Clem's like, man, my wife went to get Powerball tickets with the kids. I took a dump with the door open. Like he had a 7-minute window.
I blogged a lot on Sunday. That's all I got to do on my fucking day off. As I blogged as my kids crawled on top of me. That's why Daddy still has to work during Christmas break. So yeah, I'm a little jealous right now. I have the 1,000-yard stare.
Clem is still in that spot where blogging is like his escape. Like that's basically him texting his friends. It's like writing a blog about football, what's going on. And I just come down here to my own little escape and I'm like, nothing up there matters.
Same thing with Nick. Like Nick, the new producer, Nick Bono, like he had to get the fuck out of a potty training house, onto public transportation. He's like, I don't care. Delay me. Get me stuck in a tunnel, rain, put the guy with bad breath sit next to me. As long as I don't have a girl with fucking feces on her hand, rubbing it on my knees, I'm fucking happy as picking shit. Right?
I will drive the train. I will be the conductor.
I will get run over by the train
in perpetuity.
And it's so messed up because Nick's daughter is so unbelievably cute.
Yeah.
And he's like sending out pictures of her trying to potty train. I'm like, Nick, just let her live, dude. Just let her keep wearing a diaper if she wants to. Who cares?
So much pressure.
He needs to talk to Uncle Chaps and be like, just let it rip. You're going to be back in this spot and whenever you're 50, like Uncle Large is anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Get used to it.
So to wrap up today's episode, our return back to the airwaves here, we got some breaking news in the McCarthy household, right, Large Man?
Yeah. So Christmas Day, we had the whole family over, and my oldest, Mick McCarthy, the young Mick McCarthy, has decided to take his talents to Tuscaloosa. So we have a kid who's going to University of Alabama as an incoming freshman in the fall of 2022. Yeah, Mick. He's got a couple other schools that are still coming in. I think he applied for early admission with Alabama and a couple others, but this is the one that he had, if he was to go to college as opposed to do where we were talking about the military angle, Chaps, for a while. And so he's decided. So no other kids from Ridgewood as of right now are going, but 2 of his friends are going with him in a couple of weeks to go down and visit the campus with a sophomore that he knows down there. I got to meet a kid named Mac Hereford.
What a fun time to go to college with Nick Saban as the coach. My God,
yeah.
Dude.
So it's like, and I'm paying for it. I want up. So so that's exciting.
And I'll tell you, intern with Old Row, Alabama.
Yeah. We just, like Annie and I are going along with it, but we really are not ready. Like in 9 months from now, to all of a sudden be down one kid in the house. Like that's the reason why we bought this smaller house and whatnot. And but it's a huge gap. So it's going to be extremely emotional time for the five of us.
Who do you think is going to hit hardest? Bridge?
Yeah, Bridge 100%. And like, I think if someone was to pass away, sometimes Finn gets the most in his feelings and whatnot, but Bridge and Mick are very, very close. Finn can kind of, we were down in Nashville and the kids were doing everything. Finn spent like 3 hours, and Gibson has a guitar thing down there. I guess Gibson guitars are made down there. So
he just wants to shred.
He's down there with a $6,000 guitar, just kind of sitting there. He's not a good guitar player. He's a ham and egg type guy, just as happy as a pig in shit while, Bridge and this will hurt Bridge a lot. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, right? We're going to, but yeah, so I have my oldest going to college. He's going to go to University of Alabama. So
congratulations, man. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Coast Guard, saving people, or let's go to some SEC Saturdays.
You can do both. They can go in the ROTC at Alabama.
Yeah.
They'll pay for it.
Yeah, so we're trying to figure everything out. Or like we talked about how it's January 4th. Financial aid and all that stuff gets done this month. It gets done this month for kids, like particularly, I guess it's early admission still now. So, and a lot of kids haven't made up their minds yet. So, we'll have all that stuff in, and we'll have an idea. But I tell you guys, I went to a school that had absolutely no Greek life. There were no fraternities or sororities allowed at my school. I know nothing about it. We've had some people reach out to me on, oh, listen, you're from Northeast, so probably be a Pike. I'm like, I don't know what that is. And then Willie's like, Sigma, where Willie's got the double brand. By the way, I've been out with Willie where his Sigma brothers have been out with us, and some of them have single brands. Willie got branded twice because his fucking arm is so big. Keep that in mind. Branded. So, and that's not Mick. I think Sigma is predominantly a black thing. Mick is not. And so we're trying to figure out Greek life, and it scares the shit out of me. I know very little about it. So if anyone listening knows anything about Greek life, particularly Greek life at Alabama,
sorority. She was crushing it. Yeah, tried out.
Does she? Yeah. Well, we could talk about it beforehand, but I know some people pledge the spring before they get into college. So but I think that's for pretty established Southern people. So we're doing this all by the fucking seat of our pants. I know nothing about it. I know nothing about the school. We'll see how it works out.
I think Nicky Boy is a Greek guy. Nick?
Yeah, I was in Greek life.
Were you? What were you?
I was in API. It's a nationally Jewish fraternity, and
is it? Okay.
And we were all Italian.
Really? Get the fuck out of here! Well, it's well known. Italians are just Jews with muscles.
Hey, that is factual. That is factual for all the listeners out there. This is going to be a video podcast soon, so you can see that live.
Correct.
A little hit right
to
there.
shreds.
Oh man, that's awesome. I actually, so I went to Seton Hall freshman year, and one of the reasons I left is because it was a commuter school, and the people who didn't commute were mostly Greek life, and that just wasn't for me. So I actually went to Siena, which didn't have any Greek life, but I couldn't even imagine having to like research all this shit. Luckily, you were for Barstool. Might be a couple people you could pick the brains of here for that. And most importantly, you talked about the school you went to, Large. Big Papa, you had, every Saturday was fucking in the fall was a big event. You get to go watch fucking Bama now. You get to go to fucking Bama games once a year.
Not bad, right?
Yeah, you get to choose. If Notre Dame's good, you can roll with them still. Yeah. And if they stink, you can go over on Alabama.
Alabama's always good.
Yeah, that's the best world.
Roll Tide, baby.
Roll Tide.
All right, so that's this week. We'll see you guys next week, and as always, especially for all the people that have these little fuckers home for another goddamn week or so, or shit, let's be honest, probably a month or so. Stay safe and stay sane out there.